Hello, Lisa Pezik here, and welcome to the latest episode of the Lisa Pezik Show. I want to dive right into talking about productivity today. So many times you hear people say, entrepreneurs, small business owners, moms, dads, grandparents, workers, I wish that I had more time. I wish there were more hours in the day. That is a death trap to say that, because it's not about having more hours in the day. It's about making the most of the time that we have, being really ninja about distractions, being really intentional about what we're doing, being incredibly present in the activities with the people that we are communicating to and collaborating with. And you can get so much done in a short amount of time when you're intentional, focused, and realistic about what you can get done and what you can achieve. My husband and I, Eric, who run our agency, we have been, I don't want to use the word tested, but beautifully humbled since this time hit in March. We were already pretty stretched thin for time. We had been through a few babysitters with no help. My family lives in Pennsylvania. We're here in Toronto. My husband's family just aren't involved. And we got pretty used to doing everything. And then when coronavirus hit, our housekeeper couldn't come in, our gardener couldn't come, our student who helped us with laundry couldn't come. I know, woe is me, right? We're blessed to have all this help. But when that's taken away from you, you're going, whoa, okay. Now I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to navigate how to run a household, how to take care of our health, how to virtually homeschool our 6-year-old, how to still provide incredible, not only customer service, but quality of the business that we're doing for our clients. And for me, mostly still do outreach to connect with people and collaborate and take on new clients and speak and write and do all the things that we do. And it came down to our habits. It came down to 10 things that I want to share with you that we should have already been doing. And I know I hate that word should. You should never should all over anyone. So I'm shoulding all over myself right now. This should have been in place long before March 2020 hit. So this is a blessing that this time really humbled us and challenged us to change our habits. So I'm going to dive right in to these 10 things that I want you to grab a pen and paper. Now, if you're driving and you can't, don't worry, I'll put it in the show. It'll be in the show notes. But I really want you to do an audit or an assessment, or really look at these things in your business and your life. How are things going for you? Does this need to change? Even if you change one of these 10, you're going to see a massive change in your productivity. You're going to see a massive change in the outputs. You're going to see a massive change in how you feel. Your energy, your clarity, your peace, your stamina, your productivity is going to change. So let's dive in. Number 1 is the dreaded email. I need to tackle email first because it is the bane of every person's existence nowadays when we are being hit left, right, and center from everything from the people we follow in business to the specials, pardon me, at the stores that we shop at, whether you are on your email for personal or on your email for business. Do not dive in first thing in the morning. You must get up. You must take care of yourself first. Whether that means meditating, journaling, walking, stretching, having a cup of coffee or tea in peace. Ideally, banging out that thing that needs to get done first thing in the morning. Then you can dive into your inbox, which is, according to my previous mentor, Brendan Burchard says, the inbox is full of everyone else's demands and wants and wishes of you. Your inbox is everyone else's priorities, not your priorities. So email after you take care of yourself first, or you get done those needle moving things in business first. Second thing about email, only check it 1 to 2 times a day. That's it. I check my email around 9:30, 10 a.m. That just so happens to work with my little guy. We don't have calls then. My little guy's already rocking and rolling with virtual school in this landscape right now. And by 9, 10 o'clock, I've banged out that really important thing that I need to do in my business. So that's when I can get on and start answering to other people, getting what I need, doing what's asked of me when it comes to clients and things like that. So 10 a.m. is the first time. 4:30, 5 o'clock. For me, it's just to sleep well at night. I make sure that no 911 emergency has come in. I'll do one more check, and that's it. If you stop and answer every time an email or a ding or a message or something comes in, you are decreasing your productivity by 33% every single time you get pulled away and you check that and you go on to something else. Okay? Only you know what those right email times are for you. No more than 1, 2 times a day. And you train people how you respond. We went away to a cottage in Northern Ontario a couple weeks ago, and I had a client who I love so dearly, such a sweet woman. She reached out to me on a Saturday, and we went to the cottage on a Sunday, and we were there Sunday through Thursday, home Friday. And it was Tuesday. And she wrote me an email and she said, I haven't heard from you. She sent me a video script back that we were working on together for one of her modules for her membership. And she said, I haven't heard from you. Oh my God, was my script that bad? I'm starting to panic. Like, what's up? And I looked back and I'm like, didn't she just email me? Like, how long has it actually been? And when I looked back, she emailed me late Saturday night. So really it had been Sunday, Monday. It had been 2 days, 1 business day, 2 actual full days. And she was like freaking out, thinking like something terrible happened, or I didn't know how to let her know that her stuff was terrible. It was not, by the way. That was all an internal fear that she was worried about, because when we started our working relationship together, I would answer that day, that night, an hour later, 5 minutes later. Going 2 days was like, what is going on? So, and when I explained, she was like, oh my God, I totally get it. You're at the cottage, like, have fun. You train people how they learn how quickly you're going to respond. So if you set that standard that you respond within 30 seconds or within an hour or within a day, that's a very hard standard to keep up to. So just keep that in mind. Number 3, set a timer for social media or YouTube. Don't get me wrong, there's this video going around of like Chihuahuas, I believe, or I don't know what kind of dog. No, they're not Chihuahuas. They're the furry kind of dog. Shih Tzus, I think. And they're dressed in like Mexican wear, and they're like running, and pictures of dogs being rescued and videos of dogs being rescued. I will get sucked into the black hole of YouTube and social media so quickly that I have found I literally set a timer for 10 minutes. Some people will tell you need to, use it. Social media and YouTube are used only as a business tool, and know your intent when you're going on there. And yes, that's very true. But for some of us, For me, I live in Canada. A lot of my family and friends are still in the US. It's a way that I'm able to share pictures of our family and communicate and wish people happy birthday and, make connections to pick up the phone and call each other. And I do like to be social on it. I just find I have to limit myself to 10 minutes, no more, of scrolling the feed, reaching out to people, saying hey. So I'm on there, but I'm still very intentional about why I'm on there. Number 4, this has been a game changer for me. Auto responders and airplane mode on your phone. I would be addicted to the ding. The Facebook message, the tweet, the email coming in. Even though I put my phone to the side, or I close out my email, right, or I minimize it, and I think I'm not answering email, I'm writing this book, or I'm writing this chapter, or I'm gonna write out my notes for a podcast, or I'm gonna watch this client video, or watch this work, or write this email. Every time the ding would come, I would feel like I would have to check it. When you are thick in creative work, or just thick in doing work in general, put your phone on airplane mode. Put an autoresponder on your email that says, hey, I'm in creative work for the day. I'll get back to you tomorrow. I've started putting autoresponders on my emails on the weekend. That was a learning curve for me, what happened with that client. And I said, I'm not working on the weekend. I'll get back to you on Monday. Like, take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful weekend. When you tell people and it's there, I don't know, for me, I felt like it was like, whew, I could breathe because people knew, that expectation wasn't there. They weren't going to panic if they didn't hear from me for a day or two. And people will respect boundaries when you set them, because they'll have boundaries too. So when you're in the thick of working, airplane mode, autoresponders. When you don't want to be plugged in, autoresponder is still great customer service. Number 5, this is just a general business thing that you need to know. What are you doing and what are you delegating? I learned that so well in our personal life when we were able to hire out a gardener, a babysitter for a little bit of help, a house cleaner, all of that, a handyman, like all of that. We're quite capable of doing all of that, but that's not where our best time is spent. It took me a little bit longer to learn that in business. And the best way that my current mentor, Bo Eason, described it to me is, what are the 3 activities that make your business go up, that make your impact go up, that make your income go up? Those are the 3 things that you do. Everything else, you delegate. So for me, that's speaking, whether it's on this podcast, on a client call, on a summit, on social media, going live, speaking, writing, my blogs, books, and recovery. Those are the 3 things that make my business go up. Everything else, I'm delegating. I just hired Ponetize, who is the company that is now helping me with the show notes and to bring this podcast to life, because I was writing my own show notes and creating the cover graphics, and I had a VA who was editing and really helping out with that. But it was so beautiful to find someone that I just send them this and they bring it to life and make it happen. So what do you need to do? What makes a business go up? What you delegating? Now, number 6 and 7, allow proper time and allow proper rest. So when I say allow proper time, I used to get incredibly frustrated when I would block off, let's say, an hour to do I'd block off an hour to do a podcast, write a blog. Next thing you know, my Yeti mic wouldn't work. I'd have issues with technology. And it would take me, 40 minutes just to get myself set up. Or when there was a technical issue or something going wrong. Or even just trying to do a blog, I'd get writer's block, or I'd be trying to force myself to write something. That is not a realistic time frame in a calendar to be blocking off 1 hour to do 2 things in that hour. Which kind of leads to number 8, which is multitasking is a myth. So, allow proper blocks of time. How long is it actually going to take you to do that thing? What is a realistic time frame to actually do that. It's like when you're driving to somewhere and you plunk it in the GPS and it tells you it's going to take an hour, but you give yourself that buffer because you know you're going to be driving through rush hour traffic or where there's construction. Give yourself that buffer when you're planning your activities. Also, don't book yourself back to back to back to back to back. Where is the white space? White space means you're doing nothing. Where is the white space in your calendar to rest and recover? Because you're not going to be productive if your brain is fried. You're not going to be productive if you haven't drank water or eaten properly or gone outside for some fresh air. So allow that time for recovery. For me, I use the rule of 3. I try not to schedule more than 3 things in a day. In this time, it's about 2. I don't schedule any more than 2, I've learned, is about what I can manage with being a mom, virtual homeschooling, cooking, not going out to eat, right? Cooking meals, no more than 2 things a day. And that multitasking is a myth, so not 2 things in the same block of time. If you can think about, I think about our son who's in virtual school, grade 2, he doesn't have art and math in the same hour. Or literacy and math in the same hour. They're chunked in hour blocks of different subjects. You got to treat your business the same. Number 9, meditate to run clean. If you are holding on to someone that ticked you off, something that upset you, just whatever is clogging up that space in your head and in your heart, you're not going to create from that authentic space. And I found that, and things aren't going to flow easily. I found meditation to really be what helps me get in a proper state to be able to create cleanly, to show up authentically, to speak what's on my heart and on my mind. Now that could be painting for you, that could be exercise, that could be walking, that could be reading a couple pages of a book, that could be listening to a funny video, or what sparks that creative, clean energy in you. For me, it's meditation. And I never used to be able to meditate. I could not sit still. I used to curse thinking this is so stupid. And who can do this? Who can sit for this long? Who can quiet their thoughts? And now I crave my 20, 30-minute longer meditations because it fuels my soul. And then lastly, number 10, what you did is enough. I was on a Peloton ride the other day. Low impact ride, 15 minutes, Robin Arzon. Love her dearly. One of my favorite instructors. And she said, take that 15 minutes for you. What you did is enough. You don't need, if this is all you have is these 15 minutes, it's enough. It's consistency. It's not what you do once. It's what you do over and over and over again. And in order to keep that clean energy running, that clean creativity, I want you to think of the same thing. What you did is enough. If you want to write a book and you set a timer for an hour that you're going to sit your butt in the seat and write, at the end of those 60 minutes, say, thank you. I'm so glad I did this. What I did is enough. I'll tackle that again tomorrow or the next time I have that blocked in my calendar. Creativity is a process. Business is a process. So give yourself that grace to know that what you did is enough. Now, if I can help you anything productivity-wise, that's why you want to hop on a 30-minute strategy call with me. If you go to www.lisapezik.com, at the bottom of every page, you'll be able to click and book a 30-minute strategy call with me where I can help you with any one of these 10. I'm telling you, if you just implement one of these, as I said earlier, your whole entire business and life will change. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you again next time on the Lisa Pezik Show. Bye for now.